Mm, okay. Thursday. This is all Jess. Jess loves her Thursdays and Fridays. And, the title of this is something to think about, being unproductive for Therapeutic Thursday. And, we've talked about this a lot, as far as doing nothing is still doing something. I have little hairs that are tickling my face. Sorry. But for Therapeutic Thursday, she really wanted to focus on productivity, or better yet, lack thereof. So it's okay to not be doing anything. Put anything after the word doing. It's okay just to not do, because that in and of itself is actually doing something. And that's okay, because we need that sometimes. But we need to remember sometimes to be still like water. Just, we don't have to live like we're in this torrent of an ocean with massive, crazy waves. We could just be still like a lake. And that's okay. And that's good. Doing and being, they're really complete opposite sides of the spectrum. And that's perfectly acceptable, especially for aortic survivors. So, in your past life, your pre aortic disease self was probably likely stressed, overworked, and just plain spread too thin. She knows she was. I know I was. 16 screens minimized, multiple computer monitors. It fueled me. The drama of the day to day and how much I was doing fueled me. And we all know that we did it to get those weeks off of vacation, which is crazy that this is how we lived. And it's not good. It's good maybe for some people in the moment, but it's not sustainable long term. And as a society, we tend to be taught to be on the go constantly, that being busy is a good thing. And we want to always be striving towards something. But once a goal is accomplished, that it's time to reach for the next best thing and just keep going and going and going and going. And this attitude really does need to stop, at least for all of us in this community, whether it's survivors or it's caregivers. We have to learn to adapt to this new normal, and that doesn't have to be a bad thing. I mean, we're looking at some of these pictures here, but the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. So that's something, just think about that for a second. Not prioritize what's on your schedule, but schedule your priorities. And they really are two different things. And we talk about this a lot, flipping the script and changing the narrative, but it is okay to rest. It is okay to nap. It's okay to not keep the house clean. Well, like, who do you think if someone comes over and you've got dishes in the sink that they're going to go home, and even if they do, oh my gosh, she has dishes in the sink, do you think they're going to care an hour later when they're watching a TV show? Probably not going to care. They'll probably have dishes in their own sink, and if they don't, they will at some point. They will at some point. Nobody cares. Real, true friends and people that care about you, they don't care. So it's okay to not get all of the chores done. Your mental, physical, and emotional health and well being, that needs to be your top priority, which means that likely your expectations, they need to be drastically altered of what truly can be accomplished, whether it's in a day or it's in a month. And my husband is always telling me, you do too much. Plan one thing a day, which of course I don't think is realistic. But when the window of opportunity is there and I'm feeling good and I'm feeling energized, I go, 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 go. And then what happens? I crash. And now I'm out for like a day or two. So that's not beneficial. That's not really working through my priorities. Not everything has to be done in that day. Sometimes the best parts of my days is when I just do nothing, watching mindless TV, finishing my fourth attempt at reading a book. Whatever the case may be, you have to prioritize no time. I mean, not that. You have to prioritize your downtime, your quiet time. That should be a priority as well. And Jess says she's gotten really good at prioritizing duties and things that need to be done. And she's kind of let go of that type A control freak part of her personality. She basically creates 3 lists: what is urgent every day, what is weekly that can be done, and when she's motivated, what are the things that she needs to do when she's feeling really motivated. And I kind of love that idea. We all have things that have to get done, calls we have to make, a bill that has to be paid, certain things, doctor's office that we have to go to. Okay, that happens like every day. There's certain things you have to do. And then there's things that you can say, well, let me get to it sometime in the week, like laundry. You get to it within the week. Swiffering your floor. That's within the week. Reorganizing a closet, within the week, right? But then there's things where when you have that window of opportunity I was talking about, and you're feeling all energized, what's that project you really wanted to do? Maybe you want to completely take everything out of your closet, rehang everything up, refold everything, and just start fresh and do a reset. Maybe when you're feeling really motivated, that's the day to take the car to the car wash and can then completely try to detail the inside, and really get into the nooks and crannies. That's not urgent. That's not even on the weekly. That really should be the I'm really motivated today. I'm going to get up and do it. So for Jess, the daily duties are to get her kids fed, get them off to school with their breakfast, their lunches, then she does her yoga. Then she takes a shower. Then she cooks a meal for dinner, gets some paperwork done to the appropriate people. She goes outside. She might read. She might have an Epsom salt bath. She might do some light housework like some dishes or cleaning up the kitchen, take a nap if needed, reconnect with the kids and the hubby, and some family and friends. So that's kind of how she works out the things that are priority for her. She's learned that without doing things that are important daily, her physical and mental health actually suffers. So, the most important part of her routine has been connecting with her kids and her husband, depending on his shift. But before they head off to school, she wants that private time to connect with them, and before anybody heads off to work. It makes her happier to start her day that way. That's important for her. I'll tell you, my husband gets up very early, like 5 a.m. I don't know what that looks like on an alarm clock anymore, unless I'm about to go to the islands and I have to set it to make a plane. We had a conversation very early on where I just said, I am not that morning coffee drinker. It's not important to me to wake up at 4:45 to make your oatmeal and your banana and your coffee and just sit there. Like, I love you. I'd rather connect at nighttime. I'd rather connect if you come home for lunches, but I have to sleep for my physical and mental health well being. I need to not set that alarm. So, you may have been used to that kind of interaction with people in the past, but you're not going to get that from me. And that has to be okay. So, see, everybody's life is different, their priorities are differently, but everything else that Jess has to do, and I'm seeing it's probably me, and maybe some of you can relate, on the last two lists, that weekly and that motivated list, it kind of gets done at a snail's pace. So that's okay. It's okay if you push some of that stuff to when you feel you're at your best to do it. More often than not, I think a lot of people's weekly duties, like the chores and stuff, they get moved to next week, which is fine. I'm one who I'll do laundry and then it could take a week or two before it even gets put away, let alone carried upstairs. So, you know, I got plenty of clothes. If whatever I clean doesn't make it upstairs for a week, I'm totally okay with it. I might pass by the laundry room and say, let me grab the sweat pile now and bring that up. Or, let me grab my t-shirt pile and I'll bring that up. And it's okay. And I think the key is to stop the negative talk in your head. Stop telling yourself that you're a sloth or that you're less than because you're not just carrying the whole basket or because you're not getting everything done every day. You are doing exactly what you need to do. You're prioritizing your priorities. You're scheduling your you're prioritizing to schedule things that are important in your life. So, what are some of your strategies to purposefully be unproductive? And do you even feel okay with being unproductive? That's, you know, that's a whole other interesting question. I think people have come to feel that being unproductive, whatever that means, is a negative thing. Like this says, productivity isn't about being a workhorse, keeping busy, or burning the midnight oil. It's more about priorities, planning, and freely protecting your time. That's what productivity is. It's protecting your time. So I'm curious to know if Karen and Ryan are there. Do you ever view yourself as unproductive? And what does that mean? Because me, unproductive, it's a good thing. It means I did something for myself. Josh, you got any thoughts while we're on the delay? Yeah. Yeah. That totally makes sense. When somebody has free time, you just jump at it, right? I get that. Right. You know why that is? It's because so many of his other family friends probably end up having to cancel at the last minute, and he just expects that you're going to end up being like one of those, even though you probably are not. But I think a lot of people do that because it's precious to them too, and they're just so scared that it's like you're going to take away my moment where I don't have to be the dad and be at home. Like, this is my free time. Don't take it away. That's kind of cute. Very sweet. Yeah, sure. I can appreciate that. Yeah, but you know what? Well, you're also early in. In a few more years, you'll realize stopping's like, you also, like people with younger kids, they really can't stop. I could not do that now in my life. I don't even think I could do a puppy right now. Like, I don't have that energy to go, go, go. I need to know that I can just sit here and when I'm asked, what are you doing today? Say a whole hell of a lot of nothing. And I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just going to watch mindless TV. We went away for this past weekend and it was crazy because we did so much go 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 that it was the most expensive spa service of my life because I slept through most of it. What an expensive nap that I took, but clearly my body needed it. That yeah, so it is nice to sometimes not and to just you know I haven't been I haven't been to the movies with myself alone in a really long time, and I'm really looking forward to doing that again. I love going to the movie by myself. Nobody tries to talk to me. I get to eat up my own food. Nobody wants to take any of my snacks. I can just totally chill out and relax and watch whatever I want. Like I love that. I do love that. I love time by myself. Yeah. Yeah. Chemo kick your butt. But you got to ring the halfway bell. I did see that on your post. So that's awesome. Yeah, halfway bell, halfway bell to bow. That's like a big deal. And you've been through other really challenging moments in your life, and you're going to get through this one too. And take just waking up from a nap and joining us, that's awesome. Glad that you got a chance to just let your body do what it needs to do that's best for you. And that I think that's part of this lesson is that you don't want to wait until you just break down. You don't want to fight it. So give into it. It's what needs to happen. Good thing taking that break. But glad that you're here with us.